I'm Werle. I'm the set designer for Peter and the Starcatcher, and we're here at Showman Fabricators doing a tour of the new set for Peter and the Starcatcher. What we had to do is the minute we found out we had the Brooks Atkinson, we got the drawings and we started building this model. And so we took the downtown model, which is a New York Theater Workshop model, and we put it in the Brooks Atkinson. And then we're like, how do we make it actually feel like a Broadway show? We want to keep the basic look of the show, and what we focused in on is this proscenium. So we had scenic artists from Showman go down into the Brooks Atkinson and surveyed each and every individual leaf and pattern to recreate that, but with salvaged materials. These guys are all kitchen timers. If you know our show at all, you know the kitchen timer comes into place. We also have kitchen implements. A lot of our mermaid costumes are actually made out of funny kitchen implements, and we want to keep with that theme. That's a doily with a coffee lid on it. All of this detail that's shown like this are corks. We do relief sculpting, where it's adding to the surface with found materials. I work with a lot of artisans. It's not just me saying, oh, this is what we're doing. It's a lot of people really helping the process along. I work with the directors who come up with these ideas, and then there's a point where we go out to the world and say, hey, we are looking for these types of materials. So we got rope, and here are corks that we got in bottle caps. For the downtown version, we found a lot of our supplies at Materials for the Arts. And so this is one of the trim or notions that they provided us. This is rope. These are the corks. So what we did is we went to Thrift Town, or a couple different thrift stores in the East Village, and we got rolling pins and turkey base. Sometimes we find this stuff and it's cracked and broken, and we're like, just get it anyway. We covered the entire thing with newspaper, and then we crinkled it, and then we carved it to get this uneven, very highly textural look to it. This right here is chain, and then we have bottle caps. This is a snap, a large snap. These are constructed out of plastic bottles that the artisan cut into these shapes and then layered in the shape of a flower. These are zippers, some buttons. A rope can be anything. It can be a door, it can be a window, it can be a ladder. Our goal is to try to keep the spirit of the show downtown and move it uptown and not change any of that same aesthetic quality that we loved. Because the whole idea of this show is that your imagination controls your destiny. It's the same idea. We can create scenery out of anything, and do. These are planks that came from old scaffold, and we got it from Build It Green. It's perfect for what we want. We have these areas in the set that are uplit, so there's certain moments that are just right around this area, and we just want this subtle light coming up through. This gives us feelings of multiple locations. It feels like the beach, it feels like a ship deck, it feels like a landscape at times. Sometimes it feels like the sea. If it was a typical floorboard where you saw the patterns just as you expect, you automatically think interior or this or that. We wanted to actually create something that it felt like it could be multiple locations. So. Then here are the posts. See the same kind of buttons, little snaps we used to look like rivets. These pieces were salvaged construction pieces. They were made out of molding and those are old pallet pieces. You can see the rough wood that's up there. Downtown we couldn't fly anything. So these guys are all on the ground, we had to move them. Now we can fly stuff. So now we are adding all this additional steel structure to actually be able to, we have this great luxury of changing the scenery much quicker. So these are the ocean walls. This is a couple layers of our piece screen, which takes light really, really well. It gets its color from a lot of different fabrics. We then add paint on both the front and the back. But it's nice to see it in this form, because when you see it actually in Act 2, it looks very different. So this is the before and after. In these Village, where we were near New York Theater Workshop, one of the corner bodegas caught on fire. And so all the doors that were in the front, they had to get rid of them. So they were all lying on the street. So we were driving by in our van and we just grabbed them, and then they became part of the scenery because they actually were almost just like what we had designed. Here's a piece of our scenery. That's the ground row. This was the old and this is the new. And so they're just adding pieces. We wanted to make it a little bit more, a little stronger. This is another part of Act 2, and the actors actually hide behind this. I would say almost every day I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I found this. These are fabric tubes that we got. They're made out of cardboard. So what we can do is we run these through the bandsaw. They become detail, like a molding that you would buy in a store. Trim, some blocks are kind of fun. I got a box of buttons. This is pretty great. In the proscenium, we have 2 mermaids, and so we needed 2 arms. And so these will be our mermaid arms. We have records and CDs. This was fantastic find. We have a lot of this in our set, and we were making it before, so it was a really great find. You know, get very excited when this happens. We have, not that many objects on stage, but the objects that we have were handcrafted and created to give a feeling of the sense of wonderment and imagination. We're storytelling with bits and pieces of our existing lives. Let's see what else we got in here. Oh, lids.